Today we're going to talk about how to fix a common problem with the high-grade Universal Century Unicorn Gundam, and you'll notice that this one here, my one, doesn't have a backpack, and that's because I've got it detached, because you'll see that the beam sabers that are meant to go in like that have snapped off. Now this is quite a common occurrence, and I think quite a few people have had this happen, where literally what happens is well, they're just pegged in by a very small peg right there and there, and it only takes a little bit of force sideways and they come clean off basically. So you'll see that there you go, you can see right there that they should, I mean, this end is supposed to have a hole, and that's supposed to be a peg which you just go straight onto like that, and when they snap off, well, it's quite hard to fix really. So I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do to go about fixing this, and I'm just going to use the same sort of principle as how you would build a resin kit with something called pinning. So we'll get this out of the way for now, and I'll show you what I mean. And hopefully this will be useful for a few other parts, not just fixing this particular item, but maybe you'll come across some similar things in future, and this may be of use. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is to find out what is the size of these pegs that we're talking about. So, and for that I've got here a digital caliper set that I have. You turn it on, and it basically measures the distance between these two jaws here, and it also does the opposite, where it measures the gap that these two are taking up. So quite a useful item to have. Not exactly a really expensive one, which is why it doesn't quite well, okay, it did it that time, but it doesn't always track back to 0, so it's not always dead accurate, but it's good enough, to be honest. So anyway, let's get on with finding out how big this is. So, oh, excuse me, and that is basically all it really takes. So we know that these pegs are roughly about 1.5 millimeters thick, so we'll go with that. Next stage is I'm just going to trim off these protruding pegs, what's left of them, just really simple, just with a knife, straight off like that. I'm not going to do it too much on camera for now, but because I can't really see what I'm doing, but the idea is to just get these completely flush. Next, get a very sharp knife with make sure it's got a brand new point, and you basically want to place it right in the middle of where you want to cut, or where you're going to drill rather, and just basically make a little indentation so this acts as a little guide and pilot hole for the drill. So that's all it takes, and I apologise if you can't see too well on this white part. And next you're going to need a pin vise, and they come in several styles. You've got one like this, which is a Archimedes screw, and you can basically, it does that, and I don't know if you can notice, but it will spin around, or you can hold it like this as well, which is the way I prefer to use it. And the other kind that you'll get is kind of like this style as well, which is the more standard type, and you've got two ends that you can fit various sizes of drill bits into. And speaking of drill bits, nothing fancy, but this is what I have. It's a little box, it's really cheap, and you've got some very small sizes, 0.3 up to 1.6 mil. And the cool thing with this is the box you can slide it to the right sort of size that you want, and you just tip it out and they will you can get to the right one, and it saves you losing the very small ones. The 0.3s or anything below 1mm is really small. Okay, so really the next part is to just get your drill and you just simply start going about it, and just be very gentle when you first start off, and just keep checking to make sure you're going in the middle, like I'm not there. So and really it's a little bit more difficult for me since I'm trying to do this on camera. And once you get going, it's not very difficult, just keep making sure that you're going in straight and you'll get a perfectly drilled out hole. Like so. And after a bit of tidying up, this is the kind of effect that you can get. So as you can see, a very neat newly drilled hole ready for pinning. And on the backpack end, once again, same thing. You make a little pilot indentation with your knife, and just get your drill centered on there, and you just start slowly but surely drilling a hole. So start very slow and keep checking that you center, and then once you've got your little hole in, you can start speeding it up.